The Great Women of the Bible, created for the First Presbyterian Church in Germantown, at the corner of Germantown and Chelton Avenues, was Oakley's last mural series. Produced over a 4-year period from 1945 to 1949 when she was in her 70s, the project was a collaboration with Oakley's life partner, Edith Emerson. Oakley was approached by the church's Pastoral Aid Society, an auxiliary group that organized community and charitable events, who asked that she create a painting of the Annunciation to be installed over the mantel and fireplace in the Pastoral Aid Room, a space where the women had meetings and events. However, when Oakley saw the large room with its horizontal expanse of wall space, she proposed a more ambitious mural frieze. The commission was expanded in scope from 1 to 10 murals, and women who were part of the group stepped forward to sponsor individual murals. Since the project would be paid for and used by women, Oakley proposed the theme Great Women of the Bible. She made 4 chronological trees of life or ancestral trees, with the names of specific women of the Bible written inside golden fruits, demonstrating the diversity of roles that women played in the Bible. Short inscriptions accompany the names. The subjects of the 5 pictorial panels focus on episodes in the New Testament that involve women and their interaction with Jesus, who is presented as a figure of radiant, sensual beauty. Other male figures, such as the apostles, interact with women. In the coming of the wise men from the east, the 3 kings offer gifts to Jesus and pay homage to Mary. The raising of Dorcas was particularly relevant to Oakley's patrons. Dorcas was a wealthy woman who sewed clothing for widows and the poor. When she died, St. Peter was called upon, and with prayer he raised her from the dead. During the 19th century, affluent Christian women in Britain and the United States formed charitable organizations called Dorcas Societies with the same social welfare mission. Jesus and the Woman of Samaria is the story of a woman of ill repute who encounters Jesus as she prepares to draw water from a well. He converts her through the charisma of his presence, and she internalizes the difference between the short-term, daily physical sustenance of water and the ongoing sustenance of a well-lived spiritual life. Jesus in the House of Mary and Martha focuses on women who serve Jesus and the apostles in different ways. Martha places food on the table. Mary washes Jesus' feet with her hair and an expensive jar of ointment. Judas, the figure at the table without a halo, points out that the ointment is expensive and should be sold to raise money for the poor. Oakley uses detail to get her point across. Judas's hypocrisy is made apparent by the presence of a money purse, a reference to the blood money he would receive for betraying Jesus. The most thought-provoking mural in the series, on the west wall of the space, is titled The Redemption, and it is a unique configuration of subject matter invented by Oakley. Like many of the feminist thinkers of her generation, Oakley was opposed to the mainstream Christian notion that Eve, and by extension all women, are to blame for the sins of mankind. At center, the angel Jophiel, who cast Adam and Eve out of paradise, raises his sword. A series of preparatory works show how Oakley developed the figure from a model in the studio to the finished image. The scene at right is a pairing of figures that Oakley explored at different moments in her career. Eve sits at the feet of Mary in heaven, an episode in the Paradise section of Dante's epic, The Divine Comedy. Dante imagines that by bringing the Savior of humanity into the world, Mary redeems Eve, whose original sin caused mankind to fall from paradise. That Mary brings Eve to heaven is Oakley's signal that the sins of all women and men can be absolved. The image did not end with the mural. Oakley imagined it would be the subject of a magnificent public fountain. The Great Women of the Bible is Oakley's only commission for a church that has survived in its original location.